F units have been a favorite among railfans and modelers for decades, and the F7s are certainly no exception. MTH has released various F7 models over the years, the most recent being this Premier Line run which shipped in mid-2024. So I'm not a big diesel fan myself, but the F7s, especially in the Western Maryland scheme, have always appealed to me, and the price MTH listed these at made these a must-buy for me. So let's get going with this Dynamo Scale short-term review of the MTH Premier F7A Proto-Sound 3.0 2024 release. Produced by EMD between February 1949 and December 1953, the F7s were the best-selling cab units of all time, and were commonly used for freight service, though roads like the Santa Fe made them publicly recognizable on passenger trains like their famed Super Chief. The engines were made to be operated in sets or pairs, using A and B units. B units were cabless and needed an A unit to function. Here I have two F7A units from MTH's 2024 run, one powered and one dummy. Together, the two units cost me just under $700, a low price in the very expensive world of O-scale locomotives. The MSRP for the powered F7A is $530, and the MSRP for the dummy F7A is $250. Most MTH dealers will sell them for under MSRP. The paint on the models is MTH as usual. It's clean, crisp, vibrant, and matches the prototype colors extremely closely, if not even perfect. Detail level from the trucks to the rooftops is exquisite. I will note that most, if not all, of the detailing is plastic. The shell is also plastic. So combined with a smaller frame and minimal weight added due to the small body interior, needing to fit all the electronics, speaker, smoke unit, and motors, these are actually fairly light engines, and I definitely could tell a difference in pulling performance when I had the engine pulling 5 MTH Premier heavyweights, a refrigerator car, and the dummy F7A. This was near the single engine's max on my tighter 054 curves. The pulling performance, while certainly far behind most of my steam engines, is not too much of a concern in my eyes, as F7s were in real life meant to be operated in sets, and individually were only rated at 1500 horsepower. The engine operates exceptionally well at low speeds, and did not stall over the Atlas 054 switches even at 1 scale mile per hour. The smoke unit output was very underwhelming to me, especially for an MTH model. The engine at max smoke output, with the unit freshly primed, at notch 8 on the DCS remote, shows some but not much improvement over the engine at notch 1 on the DCS remote. I don't expect a diesel to smoke as much as a steam engine, so I personally find no issue with it, but I am also someone who turns the smoke units off and leaves them off after the initial testing, so outside of possible stage shots in the future where I need smoke for the shot, I am unlikely to be using the smoke unit ever again anyway. If this is a larger issue for you, I'd keep this in mind. The engines do feature quillable horns, and despite some rumors that have popped up online a few times, which I wanted to clear up, MTH has not done away with the Proto 2-3 switches, and these engines can indeed be switched to 2-rail operation. The control switches and volume knobs are found in the rear car body doors. On the dummy unit, there is only one switch, which controls whether the lights are on or off on the dummy unit. Another item I wanted to clear up any confusion over: some retailers are mistakenly listing the dummy units as having Proto 3.0 with smoke units and powered couplers. I assume this is just a mistake on the part of some retailers, but MTH never made the claim that the dummy F7s would have those features. So if you are looking at buying a dummy unit from a retailer that has listed them with those features, know that this is an error and the models do not have Proto Sound 3.0, smoke units, nor proto couplers. On the powered A units, both front and rear couplers are proto couplers, something I personally appreciate a great deal, as it does make the operating experience much smoother with these engines. The sounds on the engines are definitely great, and at least in my small layout room, I find the volume to be more than enough to make up for the dummy A unit being silent. Really, I never noticed that the second engine is quiet unless I am paying extra close attention. The PFA on the WM version I have is naturally a freight sound set, as the WM use their F7s exclusively on freight service with the exception of their late life fan trips.
Local freight calling dispatcher, over.
Go ahead, local freight, over.
Dispatcher, we're switched to the siding out at milepost 30, over.
That's correct. We've got a train at the leaded in front of you, over.
Understood. We'll wait here and look her over as she passes.
I'd appreciate that, over.
Hey, here she comes.
Did you spot any problems?
Nope, everything looked fine to me.
All right then. Dispatcher, the train just went by. We didn't see any problems.
Roger that, local freight. I'll update your signal momentarily. Stand by, over.
Standing by, over. Dispatcher, we've got our proceed slow signal.
All right, local freight. Safety first.
Roger that.
With that, I think that covers the short-term review for these F7s from MTH's Premier line. How they stand the test of a year's time, that is the next question.